Welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. Hope your trucks are running good. Another typical week. A couple things I want to mention off the bat. I watch a lot of YouTube channels, truckers, always trying to learn something. And I noticed that, usually the drama gets the views. I'm not going for that. I don't bring my troubles home. I leave them at work. And you guys have enough drama going on in your own lives. So I don't want to bring you that. But I don't want to make this seem like, hey, I just jumped in the truck, went out and made a couple $1,000 in a few days, and came home and sat on my ass. I did a lot of sitting on my ass, but even when you're a company driver, you're dealing with a lot of stress every day. Then you as you're moving up the ladder, you're taking on more and more of those stresses, those responsibilities, and like anything, there's that learning curve when you're starting out with anything, and that stress level's high, and then after a while it goes down. You learn to deal with these things as they get to you. And so I don't want to make this look like, it's super easy, because it's not. There's a lot of headache in here. I do my own accounting. I do my own maintenance. I do my own, find my own loads. I take care of all the safety stuff. So everything is in here. I just don't bring you that drama. Along with avoiding stress and drama. That starts at the beginning when I'm choosing a load. I'm real picky about what I choose. If I see something that's going to, be a lot of heartache, a lot of not necessarily work. I'm not afraid of work. But, these things where you're waiting for somebody else to do their job for 3 hours, and, I'm not into that. I'd rather depend on me, and I know I can get things done. And I don't want to be waiting for somebody else to do their job. I'd rather be driving. So I avoid a lot of that drama. There's none of that on this channel for the most part. So let's go over this week. One more thing I want to mention for somebody that might not have watched any of my videos. I don't have a truck payment. I was able a couple of years ago to go out and pay cash for a truck when trucks weren't, very expensive back then. They were still expensive, but so keep that in mind. I don't have that payment, so it doesn't hurt me as bad to just work a few days a week, certain weeks, without that truck payment. But also keep in mind that my maintenance bills is probably a lot higher than somebody with a new truck. So it evens out a little bit there. But let's go over the numbers for this week. It would have been a very, very crappy week had it not been for the last load I got at the last minute. But I worked Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Put in 1,570 miles, a lot of driving. The loads that I did get were very efficient. However, I did have a 300-mile deadhead. One of my normal little loads, I got a call on it, asked me if I would do it, and I was going to be 300 miles away, but hey, I did it anyway. That's how you get in good with agents. It'll pay dividends later. So, 3850 gross, and I worked 27 and a half hours. So I really did a lot of driving. I only did one load. I spent about 45 minutes getting unloaded. Other than that, it was 15 minutes dropping hook here and there. My happiness factor, efficiency number I like to put out there, I made $140 an hour, which is down from the last few months. This last month, you guys know it's on those load boards. Volume has been down, rates have been down, fuel is up. But it looks like, to me, things are coming back. I've seen a lot more really good loads on the board this past week. But even in those bad times, you can still get good rates. Just you got to be patient. Don't, when one hits that board, even if it's going where you want to go and it's paying $1.75 a mile, it's a tough decision. But I try to be patient. I put that thought in my mind that I don't need their $1.75 an hour or a mile if I can wait a few minutes and get $3. But you also have to be prepared to be sitting there. And when you watch these channels where these guys are saying they're getting $6, $7, $8, $9 a mile for every load, just keep in mind that that is a full-time job, sitting there all day, every single day, waiting for that one load to come up so they can make a video about it. All right, here we go. 3850 gross for the week, and I got some real good fuel mileage this week, 8.3 miles a gallon. used 189 gallons, and I paid about $4.40 a gallon. I got some good discounts this week. So you take that, subtract my overhead, ELD, load boards, insurance, all that stuff, and I came home with about $2,400 in my pocket. Not a bad week. Could I survive on this every single week? Maybe, but you definitely want, at least, if you're doing these, a few times a month, you definitely want at least one really good week to keep that money going in your savings account and not going out the window. So, typical week for me, but I'm always looking for that one golden load and that to make a really big week. And let me point out, these numbers would have been terrible had it not been for my last load that paid $800. I made a video about that one, and I don't know if I'll release it before this one or after, so I'll go ahead and talk about it now. Wednesday morning, I was heading to the house. Well, I was in that mode of, if I can find a good rate, I'll take it. If not, I'm headed to the house. I'm just sitting there looking for a rate. Earlier that morning, I had emailed about a load from JB Hunt. Now, this is the kind of drama that I usually avoid. If you see a load that's too good to be true, it probably is, but I always try to get the information, no matter what. Lots of times you'll see these JB Hunt loads, Schneider, the mega carrier, some, little ones too, and it'll say, $1,000 for 20 miles. And it always turns out to be something. I get those all the time from JB Hunt in certain areas saying, $800 for this load, but it turns out to be, they need me to shuttle trailers or do something crazy. But I'd emailed on this load, it said it was going 15 miles, paid $800. And just about the time I was giving up and about to head to the house, I got a call from JB Hunt saying, hey, you want this load? It's a recovery, which that makes things a little bit different. If you don't know what a recovery is, if somebody's picked up a load and they break down or they get in an accident or anything happens, they need that load recovered. And so you'll go pick it up from wherever they left off and deliver it to final destination. This one was a little bit different in it. I'm not sure exactly what went on to begin with, if he broke down, if he was in an accident, but the load was at one of these places that repair refrigerated reefers on trucks. And as soon as I picked it up and started heading out with it, I realized this thing's leaning. I didn't know if the load had shifted, if it was wrecked or whatever, but one of the good things about this load was they told me it's 15 miles. When I got there and put it in the GPS, it was a little under 5 miles. So when I saw the load was leaning, I looked down, I only had less than 5 miles to go. Hey, I'll take the chance. I did about 30 miles an hour all the way over there. And it just turned out to be one of those golden loads that if you don't get the information on, you never know, so I don't assume. So I made $800 in about 30 minutes, and that made the week, this number, look a whole lot better, or else it would have looked bad. But I'm always on the lookout for those golden loads. I always, I tend to look for the ones that are going a lot further, and I'm going throughout the week. They don't happen very often. And so if I find one of those that's paying $5 a mile and going to California, I jump on it real quick, have myself a big week, and it makes weeks like this much, much easier to deal with. So there you go.